The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is John Silver, lead recruiter of the Dark Order, and you are listening to All Things Elite.
Welcome to the 142nd episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Sumwitz, and I am the host of this lovely show. Joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Floyd Johnson Jr. My man, how are you doing?
I am doing well. This is an amazing Thursday. Just a lot of things going on in wrestling, a lot of good things going on, some rough stuff going on in the world. We will definitely not get involved with that because this is the proclivity for positivity, but I am excited. We watched Dynamite yesterday, and we are recording Thursday night, the 24th, the 25th morning for, that means the next Dynamite in Jacksonville, Florida. Your boy, Floyd will be there.
There you go.
I will be there. I am so excited to get back to traveling. The last trip I went on to, it was Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was my last trip. I did not enjoy that weekend at all, because something else happened on that Sunday. I'm not going to talk about that. So, no, it was not a great weekend. So, back home to Florida. And I say that loosely because I am an Oklahoman, pretty much bred. I was not born here, but bred. I've been here since I was 3. But my home away from home, especially over the last couple years, has been the great, beautiful state of Florida, specifically Jacksonville, Florida. So I am very happy that next week I will be back in that beautiful city of Jacksonville and the amazing city of Orlando, and I will be seeing Galaxy's Edge at Disney. Oh man, I am pumped. I've had to deal with some stuff this year, so it's gonna be a much needed break from everything.
Are you going to make a step towards Universal, or is it just purely Disney for Galaxy's Edge?
Purely Disney.
Okay.
Financial things happen. Can't make Universal happen.
Fair enough.
But we got a friend hooking us up with tickets to Disney. We're going to do Galaxy's Edge. We're going to be there all day. We're going to eat. I believe Tiffany's going to make a droid. We're going to do all...
Are you going to make a lightsaber?
That's going to be like a play it by ear situation for me. I like Star Wars, right? I feel like making the lightsaber is for people who love Star Wars. So
fair enough, yeah.
Tiffany's always been, she's a big fan of the droids. That's her thing. So that's why we're definitely going straight to create a droid, and I want to get on the Millennium Falcon and stuff like that. I want to do the good stuff.
You'll have to tell me how Rise of the Resistance is. That ride I've heard so many great things about. So
I didn't even know it was right. Like, I honestly am going to discover most of the stuff just being there.
Right. I've seen a lot of things about it, and it looks unreal in how cool it looks.
Is it like a 3D ride or a roller coaster?
No, I don't. It's not 3D. Okay, so this is where you're gonna learn. I'm a bit of a theme park lover, so I know like the terminology. It's a dark ride, so like it's one of those rides that it takes place inside of like just confined areas, and it's built stuff. It's not like 3D like Spider-Man is in Universal, but it's a trackless dark ride. So it's got like digital graphing of like where the vehicle moves. There's no track that it follows, so it's really cool. I've rode a couple trackless dark rides before. Like I think SeaWorld had one actually for like their penguins exhibit. It's actually really crazy how it works. But it's, I've seen videos of it. I spoiled it for myself because I knew it was going to take forever for me to go, so I just couldn't help myself. It's unreal, dude. Like, I mean, for sure, Tiffany's going to lose her shit. She's going to lose her mind over it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. I'm glad I get to be the one that, make sure we get there. She's dreamed about going, and I was just like, man, let's go. Let's go. Whenever, we need to make this happen.
All right. Well, I definitely hope you have fun with that. We got a lot to talk about, though, on this episode of All Things Elite. But before we get into everything, including the big news of the week, we have to make sure you guys are downloading this fine show on Google or Apple Podcasts. If you listen to us on Spotify or any other podcasting platforms, please give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. And if you're so inclined to, you can leave a rating and a review, or you can leave a donation through our podcast provider, Red Circle. Excuse me, but the easiest way for you guys to support us is following us on social media. On Twitter, we are at AT Elite Pod. At Social Suplex are the guys that make this show possible. Please check out all the other shows they have on their network. I am at Austin Szumowicz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And the big news of the week was that on this episode of Dynamite that we will be getting into very shortly, they announced that Double or Nothing is indeed heading back to Vegas. It will not be at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. It will instead be at the T-Mobile Arena, home of the Vegas Golden Knights, a.k.a. the most toxic team in the NHL. Regardless, Double or Nothing will be coming back to Vegas, and AEW Dynamite and Rampage will be taking place at Mandalay Bay. I can't think of the name of the arena. It's named after a beer. No wonder I don't know the name of it. But AEW Double or Nothing will be back in Vegas, and I can tell you right now, me and Sydney are absolutely trying to go to that. I mean, we've made every single Double or Nothing except for the one without fans, and then the one that was the first AEW pay-per-view back with fans. So I really want to go to this show. So you can definitely expect to see at least me down there in Vegas for that show. But yeah, no, huge announcement though for Double or Nothing, and tickets go on sale, I believe, next Friday for the shows.
So this is good and bad. Vegas, baby. Me and my wife have always said we were going back to Vegas when for Double or Nothing. We had already said it. I literally already have the hotel booked for Vegas, and people are like, how'd you know? I'm like, it's Memorial Day weekend. It's in Las Vegas. I mean, that's what it's gonna be. And then they announced it yesterday, and someone was like, "Huh." I was like, "I told you." But in true AEW fashion, I love this company. Not a lot of people love this company more than me, but they choose the most fucking convenient times to put tickets on sale. 10 a.m. specific time, Friday, March 4th, which we all know means there will be a pre-sale on Thursday, and that's the real on sale. The Thursday pre-sale is the real on sale. That's when you get the good tickets, right? What did I just say I was going to be doing when I was in Orlando? What did we talk about?
You were going to be in Disney.
At Galaxy's Edge. So at 1 o'clock next Thursday, when I'm supposed to be trying to buy tickets, I will be in the middle of Galaxy's Edge, probably waiting in a line to try to get tickets. Thank you, AEW, for putting the tickets on sale when I'm literally in town for the current show. You couldn't give me a fucking week?
Yeah, and I will say too, like we're dealing with a little bit of the issues too, because like my parents have already booked the flight for Vegas to get there, and since like COVID restrictions are starting to loosen up again, and people are able to go on planes, and now I know CDC is looking like they're going to be rolling back some mask mandate requirements and stuff like that. God damn if prices for flights haven't skyrocketed. Like we are eating a bullet when it comes to just paying just to get to Vegas. So I mean, first off, shout out to my parents for again helping us get to Vegas as well. We are going to make sure that we do not take up the entire weekend with wrestling. We're going to actually do stuff that they want. I did suggest Silk Sonic, but those tickets are also crazy expensive, and yeah, it's just kind of like we might have to pass on that. Though I would love to see Silk Sonic in concert, but I am still, despite all of that, crazy excited. I hope Floyd is able to still get tickets while he's in Galaxy's Edge. This man always finds a way to get tickets no matter what. So I have faith in him to be able to do so.
I will definitely figure it out. And the great thing about it is we do the drive to Vegas. It's a 16-hour drive, straight 40 west from Oklahoma City. It's one, like, so I've talked about drives. There are two amazingly easy drives from Oklahoma City, and I would have never thought about it for me. One, Atlanta, straight 40 east. Never have to get off the highway. You can throw the bitch on cruise control. Literally more. I have driven shorter distances and used more fuel than I do when I go to Atlanta because it is just a straight shot, right? It works for cruise control and maintaining gas. The other one is Las Vegas. You literally go 40 west. You get to the end of 40 west, and you can either go. It's two ways you can go. You can go right and go to Vegas, or you can go straight and go to Los Angeles. It is the easiest effing drive ever. And you basically you get to Nevada, jump over, you go over the mountains, and you're right in Vegas. So we like to do that trip. It's a good trip. We actually went to Vegas, drove to Vegas on our honeymoon. So this is a trip that we're used to doing. So very happy to go to Vegas. I've been to Vegas 3 times. You know the one thing I have not done yet?
What is that?
A Vegas buffet. Like a real Vegas buffet.
Ooh.
I've never done it. So we're going to go to one of the bigger hotels, drop to $50 or $60. It's so funny because this hotel dates you and tell you how old I am. It used to be in movies about Vegas, it was like you could go get a steak, shrimp buffet for like $8. That was the whole thing. And if you won, they'd comp you it. Now, no, dude, $60. It's going to be, it's the cost of a meal. It is. You're paying for your steak and your shrimp and your filet mignon or whatever they have on the buffet.
Oh, yeah.
But I am very excited to try it, and I'm going to do it on a night after I'm done with everything so I can get so full and I can just go home and lay in my gluttony.
All right. Well, that'll be a fun time. I'm sure of it.
Yes, I'm hoping they do something big. There's this word that's been going, there's this name that's been going around, spoken in hushed tones for the people that got to experience it, with nothing but love and revelry. It was this thing called StarCast.
Oh yeah,
sexy ass StarCast.
Don't we forget? No, yes. We never forget.
If you see on the thing on the post, it shows there's going to be a 3-ticket package, Dynamite, Rampage, and Double or Nothing. What's not on there?
Mm-hmm. So I mean,
FanFest is not on there. So maybe they're not gonna be running FanFest. Yes, please, I pray to the gods and raise my hands to the air. If I could just get StarCast back. Conrad, save us. I respect everything AEW does, but good Lord, StarCast was just a different experience.
It was so unreal, dude. Like, it's so crazy to think of how long ago that time was.
Dude, I call it a wrestling convention flea market. It was just beautifully done. So, yes, I am putting it out to the world with a whisper. StarCast. Come on back, baby.
Stardust. I don't know what that is.
StarCast. Come on, baby. No, come on.
All right.
Back.
Well, let's get into our AEW Dynamite review from February 23rd. And this Dynamite took place in Bridgeport, Connecticut. A show in Connecticut, huh? Interesting. I'm sure that'll be brought up again. We opened up the show with a tag team battle royale to decide who would be one of the two teams that will be advancing to AEW Revolution to be in the triple threat tag team championship match against Jurassic Express. The teams that were in part of the battle royal were 2.0, the Dark Order with Alex Reynolds and John Silver, Private Party, the Ass Boys, the Best Friends with Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, the Young Bucks, the Butcher and the Blade, Santana and Ortiz, FTR, and Red Dragon. So there was a lot of really fun spots with this open battle royale. Of course, we got a great Ass Boys chant, which the Austin Gun and the other one, Colton Gun, they did not take that very well. Also, Santana had an outstanding little moment for wrestling gifts where he just gives a nice little smile and a thumbs up behind one of the I can't remember who he was behind. I think it was one of the Ass Boys, but it was so fucking funny. Honestly, like, I had a pretty good idea of who was going to win this, but God, if I didn't want Santana and Ortiz to pull off an upset and get this win, because it would have been unbelievable. I mean, Santana by himself eliminated the entirety of 2.0. John Silver was getting crazy reactions when it came down to just only only one member of each team for a while in the match. Trent almost got eliminated, but he had Orange Cassidy carry him up on his shoulders to save him. Eventually, it came down, like I said, with a couple teams where it was just Trent, Santana, Matt Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and that was they were just singles members from each team. Eventually, Matt Jackson and Kyle O'Reilly eliminated both Trent and Santana, and then Dax is there just by himself as the one member for FTR. He's getting kicked over and over by Kyle. Eventually, though, Bobby Fish screws over Dax Harwood, eliminating FTR. Bobby was already eliminated, but knocks him out. So your boys FTR got pretty boned in this. John Silver got crazy, like I said, crazy reactions. But eventually, Kyle and Matt teamed up and eliminated John Silver. So it meant all that was left was John Silver, Matt Jackson, and Kyle O'Reilly. As Matt Jackson's trying to get John Silver eliminated, Kyle sneaks up, eliminates both of them. Red Dragon is the first team to qualify for the title match at Revolution, and they were not happy, those Young Bucks. They were getting into confrontations until Hangman Adam Page comes out, not happy about being jumped by Red Dragon and Adam Cole, beats the shit out of Red Dragon, grabs the microphone as Adam Cole tried to separate everything, but it didn't work out. Eventually, Hangman gets on the microphone, does story time with Adam Page, baby. Talked about Adam Cole's history in pro wrestling, winning every title, wanted to come after the most prestigious prize in professional wrestling, but he ends up digging his own grave with this, and the better Adam is going to leave him in his grave March 6th at Revolution. So, damn good battle royal to start off. And then Hangman had a great promo and a great fiery beat up of Red Dragon and Adam Cole. I'm so happy for this title match, and I'm so excited for how it's going to be. I'm jealous of the people that are going to Revolution to see Adam Cole versus Adam Page. I think it's going to be unreal. But this was really great to start off the show.
Yeah, this is kind of awesome that for me, as far as when it comes to Adam Cole, baby, this will be like this. I've seen him main event at NXT TakeOver, and now I'm gonna see him main event at AEW pay-per-view, and he's gonna be pretty freaking awesome at it because he's pretty much awesome at everything. And if you don't believe me, ask him; he'll let you know. I'm very excited about what's to come with Adam Cole, baby, and and Hangman. It's gonna be fun. That buckshot, man. They protect it, man. They protect that move, and I love that. No one's kicked out. No one's gonna kick out. It's the greatest thing. Man, I'm very, very excited for that show.
Yeah. Now we have to get to probably the most talked about thing in the entire episode of Dynamite that aired this week. It was MJF speaking for the first time since CM Punk announced the dog collar match that's taking place at Revolution between CM Punk and MJF, where MJF had literally nothing to say after Punk announced the dog collar match and brought up that picture of him at the meet and greet with CM Punk when he was very, very young. I know I'm the CM Punk mark here that goes nuts for him. Though because this is a completely different beast, I am passing it over to Floyd. I'm passing it over to the man that has constantly dug at me and praised MJF and did all these things. I want him to talk about this unbelievable promo that was cut by MJF. Also, I did get your shirt, and I have not worn it yet, but I do want him to be able to talk about this promo in its entirety.
Okay, I really wanted to get on here, and you saw a tweet out there. I've been saying at the beginning, the hero of this story is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. I've been telling people that he is the hero of this story, and last night he got on and he cut one of the most sincere and emotional and heroic promos I've ever heard. And I know he sometimes act like a dick, but in this case, this is what baby faces are made of. He says, "Guys get you, I get it. I used to love CM Punk too. In a lot of ways, except for the parts about being bullied and stuff, he was telling my story. And I get that you guys want to boo me. I'm not the easiest person to like." Whew, yeah. So he goes on to say how much he loves professional wrestling. I'm trying to paraphrase because I could just read it, but I'm not going to do that. He tells the story from when he was 11 years old. He had severe ADHD. School was hell. He didn't get school. He wasn't in. But he found out he was good at football. He made the football team. Starting middle linebacker. One of 2 Jewish people to try out for the team. And he was like, friends never came easy for him. So he was like, maybe I'm going to make friends. The jocks come up to them and they decide collectively had a roll of quarters, and they threw quarters at him as hard as that he could. And he went home and cried and cried and cried. But I realized today is Friday and I get to meet my hero, CM Punk, at an autograph signing. That day meant everything to me. And I made a promise to myself. I wasn't going to be afraid to stick up for myself. I was going to become the best in the world. Fast forward 2013. Had football scholarships coming for me, but I didn't care. I just wanted to be like CM Punk. January 4th, 2014, CM Punk left him when he needed him most. When I believed in you, you left us. You left us all. That's when I realized if the best in the world couldn't do it, how could I? So I packed my bags and went to college, then buried my dreams. Whew! I made a promise to myself that day I would become the best in the world in spite of CM Punk. I made a promise that I wouldn't be a gutless coward like CM Punk. At Revolution, you can choke me with the chain, you can make me bleed buckets, but I won't quit. My name is MJF, and I'm better than you, and you know it. CM Punk, the master of the comeback. He's almost been a step ahead of MJF in this feud because he always knew what was coming. Didn't see this coming. He comes out there and says, "Is it true? Is it true?" MJF with a tear down his cheek said it was true and walked off. CM Punk was left conflicted after MJF's speech. Now, I'd say this, and I really wanted to get into this, and I'll let Austin jump through it in, is because, man, those stories are similar. 2012, I got divorced. I'm a little older, and I got divorced. And I was like, you know what? Went through a little bit of a depression. This is real. This is a shoot. Everything I'm telling you is a shoot. I went through a little bit of depression. But my favorite wrestler at that time was CM Punk. Now, CM Punk was my Cody. I saw him win the world title in Oklahoma City. It was like June 29th. I love CM Punk. So I said, you know what? This year, 29 it just ended. I said, I'm going to WrestleMania 30, and I'm going to meet CM Punk at Access. Bought my tickets in November, saved my pennies, bought my tickets in November. For all of you to know, divorce is kind of expensive, so sacrifices had to be made. Ramen had to be eaten quite a bit. And I bought my ticket to WrestleMania. I booked my hotel in New Orleans. Got to tell you, especially in the French Quarter, not cheap at all. Booked my hotel there. Got my friends to come with me. They were going to go to WrestleMania for the first time. And I was going to see CM Punk. Watched the Royal Rumble. CM Punk gets eliminated. That sucked. I was hoping, he'd get the main event WrestleMania. That was the goal. And then he didn't come back. And then, CM Punk will be back next week. CM Punk will be back the week after. CM Punk. Well, this is 2 Raws before CM Punk. No. Daniel Bryan starts getting pushed. And I'm like, that's not Daniel Bryan's spot. That's CM Punk's spot. He's the voice of the voiceless. But Daniel Bryan keeps getting pushed. Okay, CM Punk's going to come back. And he's going to need this Daniel Bryan guy in the faces and take his spot. We get closer and closer. And tickets that, got my ticket to Access. And I'm just like, CM Punk's name wasn't on the list. And I go to WrestleMania, this place, looking for refuge, looking for the next direction in my life. And it really did set the next direction out of my life. But it didn't set the next direction of my life the way I thought. I thought it would be meeting CM Punk, telling him, man, when I was younger and I didn't drink and all that stuff, you made that okay for me. But, I didn't get to say this. Instead, my first meeting at Access was who? Jon Moxley. My first meeting at Access after being away for WrestleMania 10 years was Jon Moxley. What he means as far as the existence now, it's great. But yeah, I felt everything MJF felt for CM Punk. I felt at a time. Of course, I was an adult, so I was able to understand that there was a lot more to having a job than just showing up, for work. There's a lot more to that, but I can see where MJF was coming from. And, as I remind you, the hero of this story.
Okay. All right. So, this story completely took a turn that I don't think people were expecting, with MJF telling, about his love, because he hinted at it at the beginning of their first encounter back on Thanksgiving about of course I was a fan. How couldn't I have been? But as it went along though, he said the more and more it got, you just saw him keep digging at Punk. But then you saw little fan Max here, come out here, and honest to God, dude, this promo was unreal. He gave it everything he had for this promo. And again, talking about getting those roll of quarters thrown by his teammates for this football team that he tried out for, and he finally he made the team. He's like, I'm finally gonna have friends, and they throw roll of quarters at him and say, "Pick it up, Jew boy." And he's just a mess because of all of this. And honest to God, dude, it's you hear everything. And again, we all talk about when he left in January, and I always talk about how I had grown to accept the fact that Punk would never come back to pro wrestling back years before the rumors of the AEW return. But there was that period between January and Thanksgiving of 2014 where I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I was just out here being so confused and just not knowing what was happening. And and everyone would report oh, well, this show's in Chicago, or, oh, we had that moment with Paul Heyman coming out with CM Punk's music, and that giant fool moment of them where they were trying to stop him from hijacking Raw. And I was like, well, Paul Heyman's mentioning Punk, so that means he's got to come back to get back at Paul for this whole situation. And then again, month after month after month, and then eventually we got the pipe bomb. Well, I guess not the pipe bomb, but it's just the podcast with Cole Cabana, where we learned what was the whole reasoning for it. And I understood exactly what he was saying, and I understood why he did what he did and why he left. It filled a little bit of that hatred for a little bit of not hatred, but just like confusion and sadness of being like, okay, well now at least I have an answer as to why he was gone. Like, I appreciate that, but it's like, I mean, like he said it straight up, he wasn't coming back, and there was no other options at that point for him to literally come back, and it was just. It was then it would go through the months of just like, well, maybe things can change, you know. There's the whole never say never thing, which he even joked at, and I was just like, but then like again, like years went by, and I was just like, well, he's done. But I mean, again, I get the thing that he was pushing for, and again, it got to me just watching it. I was just like, God damn, man, because again, like I had dealt with, again, and I'll get personal a little bit on this too. Like, I had extended family members who had severe trouble with alcohol and smoking addictions, and it hurt watching it. And then I saw this guy CM Punk, who prided himself on being straight edge and used it as his calling card, and would just stand up to anybody who stood in his way and told them off, and just was like never back down from anything. And being a scrawny kid from like not even from Flint, I'm in a small town, Davison, just outside of Flint, so I wasn't even in the bad areas or anything like that. I was in a pretty well-to-do place, but seeing this kid from the inner city of Chicago that just did all this, I took to him. I genuinely did. And it was just seeing this whole promo, man. It's like, now, of course, like my CM Punk brain is going like, this is a lure. This is a trap. He's going to turn in on him and just completely fucking flip the entire script. But I mean, you can tell MJF took from Max's real life from that. Like, I don't see any of that being a falseness of him making shit up. Like, I feel like he genuinely took from his real life problems and took it into the storyline and used it as a real change in the story. I got nothing but respect for MJF for cutting a promo like this. It's very revealing. It's very honest. And of course, like, while it's going to lead to MJF doing MJF things to Punk, like leading into Revolution, this promo itself, like, if MJF wanted to do babyface stuff, he could. I think he genuinely could. It would take a lot of effort to remove all of the baggage that people already expect with MJF. But if he wanted to open up his career and be a babyface, he could. And I mean, dude, it literally, even his mom tweeted out that he was proud of him for that promo. And his mom and dad have actively separated themselves against MJF because of all the awful things that he's done in his career. So when his mom is even being like, I'm proud of you, son, I'm just like, wow. Like, that promo was something special. And I know a lot of people are talking about, like, that's got the chance to be one of the best promos of the year in wrestling. And I can understand it. I just love this completely different change that they've gone with the story that people were not expecting. And again, it just makes me so excited to see, because I expect Punk to try to speak to Max directly, and that's when just the switch will hit. And then MJF comes back and just does what MJF does. Or I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I'm very intrigued to see. This is by far the best story that AEW's got going right now. Like, not a question. Like, Adam Cole and Adam Page has got me crazy hyped as well. And the tag team title stuff is fun. But in terms of stories, this is, like, nearly perfect. I can't think of anything wrong with it. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah, another level. AEW storytelling. I am looking forward to being at this match. It is going to be crazy and physical and violent. And both of these people have this affinity for Roddy Piper, and this was his match. I mean, I'm a big Cody fan as anybody, but this is Piper and Valentine's match. And I just think it's going to be every bit as bloody and disgusting and uncomfortable as the original match, so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We then moved over to the tag team match between the Kings of the Black Throne, Brody King and Malachi Black, facing off against Death Triangle members Pac, and not Penta El Zero Miedo, but Penta Osuro. And which is again, we got to see the dark and violent side of Penta coming down. He had a shovel in hand. Shout out Alex Abrahantes, who was going in, playing the role that he was told to play. This was a crazy good match. These guys did such great work. Brody King is outstanding. I'm so happy he's here. There was just spot after spot. I especially loved you see Malachi Black out to the outside, and he's preparing to come inside off of a blind tag, ready to spit the mist at Penta, but he covers his mouth, and then he's choking on the black mist. Penta goes for the roll up, gets the win, and he's like choking on his own mist, but then Brody King then jumps Penta Oscuro after the match, or Oscuro, one of the ways it's pronounced. Again, my apologies. But they go after Penta and Pac. Malachi Black eventually gets the shovel in the ring, and as they go to slam that shovel onto Penta, the lights turn out, and Buddy Matthews appears in the ring, and he stares at Malachi Black, but then eventually he goes after Penta and Pac just with an absolute fury, and then he's commanded by Malachi Black to smash Penta's face in with the steel chair, and he does. And we have the newest member of the Black Throne. We have Buddy Matthews, who is now All Elite. Go ahead, Floyd. Tell everyone how you called it.
There's only one person that looks like Buddy Matthews, and that's Buddy Matthews. So, no, called it. Yep, you heard it here first. This is what I do. I watch
That's
wrestling.
what I do.
That's what I do. It's like I'm feeling like Mark Henry, doing that. What I do. This was great. I love how we got a clean pin and then got the debut.
Yeah.
Places can learn from this. We got a match. Kings of the Back Throne. We're going up the contender match, and you're like, when are they going to get a title shot? Just kind of knocks them back a little bit, and now they're focused on this feud. 3 against 2, maybe Ray comes back recently, maybe he doesn't, but we got a nice little faction here. There's a backstory to it with Buddy Matthews and Aleister Black, or Malachi Black. Malachi Black and Brody King are the tag team champions at a different company. It's like it all works. It works on so many levels. It's hard to just explain all the levels that it works on.
Yeah, I'm crazy excited for that. And again, it's looking like this Black Throne group is going to do crazy things in AEW. And dude, I saw Buddy Matthews when he was at WrestleMania Access doing a match against Leo Rush for WrestleMania 34 weekend. They did crazy ass shit in that match, and it was for Access. I am crazy excited to see Buddy and what he does. And dude, he is so fucking ripped. Like, oh my God. Like, he is completely I remember him when he was teaming with, I can't remember the other guy's name, but it was back in NXT, and they had Alexa Bliss as their manager. My God.
Blake and Murphy.
Blake and Murphy. Yeah, Blake something. I can't remember. But, my God.
Wesley Blake,
yeah. And Buddy looks like completely different than what he did back in NXT. Like, he looks unreal, like how good he looks. So I'm super pumped to see how this whole thing turns out.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I just think it's going to be a good time. So I'm all about it.
All right, now we get into the confrontation between Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho, with a row of security guards ready to make sure if these two go at each other. First off, Eddie Kingston being like, the fuck are these guys? And then posing next to them. Like, I was crying. That was so funny. And Jericho comes out is like, I arranged for the security because I want to be able to talk like men and not fight like common street thugs. And Kingston's like, oh, you calling me a street thug? And he's like, Kingston goes, I'm not a sports entertainer, Chris. This is a wrestling company. My man, you want a sports entertainment company, you go down the block. There it is. You were waiting for it. And he's like, don't worry. Yeah, I'm a sports entertainer, but this sports entertainment I'm going to give you a little bit of that, but it's actually going to be entertaining. And he goes like, listen, Jericho goes, when I first heard about you coming to AEW, everyone was so excited. And I was just like, who the hell is Eddie Kingston? I thought they were talking about Eddie Edwards. And then you showed up and I looked at you and I realized I didn't know you because you looked like a jobber. But then when I saw your match and heard you talk with the guy, I can't remember who it was, I told you it wouldn't be long before you became a huge babyface. To Kingston's response was, what's a babyface? See? Yes, I'm going to comment on this a little bit. And they were like, everyone was so happy that you overcame your mental issues and your backstory and everything like that. I read all about it on the internet, but then like when you signed at AEW, you were 38 years old. You didn't make the big time until you were 38. I made the big time when I was 22. And by the time I was 38, I had already made millions of dollars. And you're jealous of me because deep down inside, you don't believe you could ever be at my level. And Eddie's like, what, do you want a cookie? Because I don't really care. The only reason you main evented all those places is because I wasn't there. I'm not like the rest of the carnies that lie. I'm me until I die. And you're out here talking about this and that, and I'm tired of it. So, like, how about we fight at the pay-per-view? How about we fight at Revolution? So let's go. And Jericho's just like, you're terrified, like, to make it to the top of the mountain that I live on. Because if you did, the instant you stepped up there, you'd fall off. He's like, I know your family history. Your first hero was your uncle, and he was a failure. You believed in your father. He was a failure. Deep down inside, you think you're a failure too. You can't win the big one. And in this company, I am the big one. Not CM Punk, not Bryan Danielson, not Hangman. I am the big one. And if you want to challenge me at Revolution, you got it. But if you manage to beat me, I swear to God, I will look you in your eyes, shake your hand, because that means I've helped you overcome your fear of success. And Eddie's like, look, I don't want the current Chris Jericho right now. Give me the Chris Jericho that was the first world champion in this company. Give me the Chris Jericho that your close friend Levesque hated, because if you don't, I'm going to eat you alive. And he's like, I will give you that Jericho and much more. And I see it in your eyes. You don't believe you can beat me. And in your opinion deep down inside is the same opinion that I have of you. You're a loser and you can't win the big one. So I got a couple comments on this promo because on one end I thought this was great. On the other end, Jericho, like this is what I know a lot of people were worried about with the constant references to insider terminology. It felt a little bit like, at least for me, kind of forced. Like Jericho, I know he tends to do that a little bit where he makes the references and all that. We're used to that. I don't know, for this promo specifically, it felt a little bit different just because of the babyface references about book, like again, like bringing up booking again and all this kind of stuff. I don't know. It just felt a little bit forced. And honestly, seeing Eddie in the ring with Chris Jericho, like I love Jericho, I really do. But Kingston outclassed Jericho on this promo, in my opinion. I think Kingston was so much better than Jericho on this promo. And I think Jericho is starting, again, I think it's starting to like catch up on Jericho that he's slowly like, I think he's getting close to being done. I mean, we never know when they're going to call time on his career or when he'll call time on it. But it just seems like it's getting closer and closer to the point where he's done and he'll wrap it up. Because, I mean, he's had such a massive career. But it just seems like it's like, I don't know, man. I know how good Chris Jericho is at promos, but I just felt like not only did Eddie outclass him in this promo, I just feel like, I don't know, man, because I know a lot of people had issues with his stuff against the American Top Team segments. I feel like we're coming towards like the point where Jericho might be done, because I just don't know. I just don't know if like I see, like, again, he was talking about, I want the Jericho that was the first champion in this company. I kind of want that Jericho too, because I don't know, man. It doesn't feel right just seeing Jericho the way that he is. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Well, my friend, I think Eddie was supposed to win this. Jericho clearly last week, starting with Santana, and then continue with this week, Jericho turned heel. He's referring to himself as the influencer, saying he has all the stroke in his company. This is not something fake Jericho was saying. He is the person that believes his own hype. I do want to give shout out to Jericho. Did you see that six pack, sir?
Yeah.
dude has been putting in the work.
He has been putting in a lot of work. I can't deny that.
Yeah, 50 6-pack, dude. He heard you when you were calling him fat online. He did. He called him Fat Jericho. He went in and put in the work. You saw those abs, and they were popping for you. And then, but yeah, it was Kingston was supposed to come out on top. Kingston is supposed to be the everyman. I don't want to talk. I can talk, but I don't want to talk. I just want to fight. In especially AEW, that person is always going to get over. That was Mox's gimmick for 2 years. Right? I don't want to talk. Let's fight. Eddie Kingston, I don't want to talk. Let's fight. He got offended when he brought up his family. He did this. What's a baby face? I'm not, you know what? I'm not kayfabing it for you. You know, screw you. I'm not playing along with your game. Eddie Kingston, to me, didn't beat Jericho on the mic. Jericho lost. You know what I mean? Because Eddie Kingston didn't say a lot, did he?
Not a ton, no.
No, he just said, hey, I want to fight you. Simple, to the point. It was great. I want to fight you at the pay-per-view. He didn't go in and say to Jericho. He did throw out the Triple H thing, the Hunter thing, the Paul thing. He did that. But he really, I mean, it was like Jericho talked a lot, talked about how awesome he was, like heels do, and he lost the interview. And everybody's going to be rooting for Eddie Kingston at the show. People didn't even want to sing Judas anymore on the way out. I don't think this was Chris Jericho showing that he's done. I think this was a masterclass on how to turn the fans against you.
Fair enough, man. I mean, like, again, that could absolutely...
I mean, and guess what? You kind of turned against him, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there you go. It worked exactly how he wanted it to. When he comes out, you will know Jericho did his job is when he comes out to Orlando and Judas plays and people...
And there's not much singing.
Yep, and there's not much singing. That means he did his job because you're supposed to go into this match wanting Eddie Kingston to do the spinning punch and knock Chris Jericho's head off.
Yeah, absolutely. We then moved over to the Face of the Revolution qualifying match between Absolute Ricky Starks and Dark Order's 10. This was a fine enough match, honestly. I was glad that we got to see which one of these two people would be in that match. It turns out Ricky Starks was the one that ended up getting the win. So eventually, now we get to know that we have two members of Team Taz that are in the Face of the Revolution qualifying match. Him, Ricky Starks, and the boy Powerhouse Hobbs. So, hey, at least Team Taz is making themselves known a little bit with having two guys in. But this match itself, I think 10 did a really good job in this match. Starks is still, I think, got a lot where he can shine. I hope he shines a lot in the ladder match. But I'm happy to see he made the match, though. I'm very excited about that.
Ricky Starks did not get the memo that this is a big men slapping meat ladder match. You know, this was a big old meaty ladder match, and now Pretty Ricky done ruined it. So I was like, man, 10 in there, and we were gonna have 10 and Will Hobbs and Keith Lee and Wardlow, and I was like, well, so we can get 10 in there, and we can get Miro in there, and just a bunch of big medium men knocking the crap out of each other, and that's what I wanted. But Ricky Starks had different thoughts on that, and he got the win. Absolute Ricky Starks. So now Team Taz, I think we're going to get 6 at the paper, 6 in the ladder match. They got 2. They got 2 of the 6. That's pretty good.
All right, well, now we head on to the TBS Championship match between the champion Jade Cargill defending her title against the Bunny. And they had announced that her record at this point is now 27-0. And I was excited to see the Bunny at least be used as one of the people to try to go after Jade. And she did a decent enough chance, like tried as much as she could. I thought this match for Jade looked okay for the most part. But I am very much excited about what happened afterwards because, again, this match was pretty easy to understand. I especially loved, though, how Aubrey Edwards both ejected Sterling and Hardy, getting both of them out of there. Eventually, they both had Brass Knuckles and the TBS title, waiting to see which one was going to make attack of it first. the brass knuckle shot was blocked by the belt, and then immediately the title belt was hit on Jade Cargill. Well, she threw it out of the ring, and then eventually Jade was able to hit with the Jaded, get the win. So she's like, I'm going to be 50-0 at this point. So the question is who's next, but better yet, who's left? And that's when Ty Conti comes out with a mic in her hand. And then she's like, I'm not just next. I'm the one who's going to beat your ass. Charges. They start going after each other. The bunny then gets involved. She gets hit with the Ty KO. And then Ty just gets pump kicked by Jade Cargill. Anna Jay comes down with a steel chair to even things up. Jade gets out of the ring. I am very excited for this match, honestly. Ty has done so well since she's had her. Again, she won Most Improved for Wrestling Observer. She has done so well in AEW recently. A Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti match is absolutely a match that is worth a pay-per-view mention for the TBS title. I think this will be very, very intriguing to see the match. And I hope that it really shines, too, because, again, Jade's done pretty dang well as TBS champion, and I think Ty's done well as well. So the match itself was what you kind of expected, though, like I said, I love the brass knucks being blocked by the belt. But, yeah, that was pretty much it for that. But, again, down the road, I'm very excited.
Same complaint that I have a lot of times, and so it's just going to be playing this same song again. I would have liked Ty to be heated up. I watch Dark Elevation. I do. I would have liked to see her get some single wins on that show. Say she's on an 8 or 9 match winning streak. That's why she's earned the shot at Jade. I know they're kind of doing the open challenge thing, but if you were doing more wins, I would believe Ty could win I would believe Ty can win in Orlando. And I ask you, being honest, Austin, do you think there's any way in hell that Ty's going to win in Orlando?
No.
They've done nothing to make you believe it. And when you take my suspension of disbelief, it's not going to make me excited about this match. It's like, I love Ty. I think she's an amazing wrestler. Love Jade. Of course I love Jade. Think she's an amazing wrestler. But you have to build the story. It's just you just can't throw a title match on a pay-per-view and say, let's go.
Sure.
Especially when your counterpart is Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker.
Right.
Who has like a 1.5 year long story that's being told. And it's like, oh, I just decided I wanted to fight you. Well, why didn't Abaddon decide she wanted to fight? Why is Ty deserving of this pay-per-view spot and this title shot? I'm asking kayfabe-wise. I'm not asking, personally. Ty is fine as a person. This is not a personal attack. It's just if you're coming in watching the show, why is Ty getting this title shot against Jade Cargill?
Sure, yeah. Again, it kind of needed a little bit more. It could have been done a lot better, honestly. Again, I'm excited for the match. The build, since we're so close to Revolution 2, we could have gotten a lot more time with this and a little bit more time for these girls to really add some heat to this. So it seems kind of rushed for sure. They were more so really working on trying to build up her record as opposed to like who she's going to fight at the pay-per-view.
I can be honest. I'd honestly rather this match be like the Dynamite before the pay-per-view or the Rampage. We're going to be in town. The Rampage on that Friday probably needs a hot main event. Why isn't it this match? You know what I mean? Because it's not literally. I mean, I know it's on the pay-per-view, but it doesn't really feel like a pay-per-view match.
Exactly. Yeah. Again, I feel bad saying that though.
This is not personal.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
This is not personal to either woman because I love Ty and I love Jade. I'm just saying, in this case, the storytelling doesn't match the spot that it's going to be on the card.
Yeah. No. Again, it could have been used so much better, and you could have given it so much more. And hell, again, like I love Jade as the champion for the TBS title, but again, seeing just all the heat that's going for the AEW Women's title right now, like please don't turn this into Sammy. Like I know Sammy's dealing with the whole situation too. It's like don't let Ty be going after her and then having her deal with the same problems with the TBS title that Sammy's been having with the TNT title. Like just don't let that happen.
Absolutely.
But we finish off Dynamite with the main event, Bryan Danielson versus Daniel Garcia. Ooh, this was a technical battle. These guys kicked the fuck out of each other. I thought this match was really good. Garcia did really great work, I think. Again, Bryan's Danielson is so fucking good. Oh my God. It's so outstanding at how well these guys did just great technical work. I love the moment where like Danielson took a tiger suplex and turned it into cattle mutilation. I thought that was outstanding. Eventually, and also the great fucking transition into Bryan kicking Garcia's head in was so good. It was so good. I loved how well that turned out. And again, these guys just took legit shots at each other. Eventually, though, Danielson was able to get the win with a triangle sleeper while posing with his muscles flexing. And Danielson was talking about how that's exactly the type of violence that I wanted to see from Garcia, asking the crowd. 2.0 then, not happy seeing Garcia take the L, jump Danielson. But then Jon Moxley shows up and wipes out 2.0. Daniel Garcia tried to get a chair and use it on Moxley, but Danielson stopped Garcia. Eventually, after the paradigm shift was hit on Garcia, they stare down, and Danielson was like, so in order for us to fight together, we have to bleed together, right? So you want a match at Revolution? You got it, but don't be surprised if you're the only person bleeding. Oh my God, I'm so fucking hyped for this match. Like, dude, Revolution is stacked. It is stacked.
Yes. It goes to the whole idea of only having 4 pay-per-views a year. You know what I mean? Just you can really put a lot of effort into pay-per-view, and it just matters. Every match on this card, has the ability to steal the show. It's going to be just a really stacked pay-per-view. And they did, again, randomness, the 6-man match. Did we talk about that they just threw in there?
Oh, the 6-man match? Yeah, the one that was thrown in there really quickly. Yeah, no, we have not talked about that.
Yeah, so other than that 6-man match, which literally looks like, you got the family, and there's like, everybody in the family is like 5'7". Then you have that junior that's like 6'4" or whatever. Well, it would be the opposite of that. This match is a bunch of matches. They got a bunch of 6'4" matches, and then you got this 5'6" match come in, and it's like, are you related to the other? Why are you here? That's what that 6-man. I'll never turn down a chance to see Sting and Darby Allin. They make sense. They go together. Even CM Punk wearing the face paint. They go together. What the fuck is Darby Allin? Why? Sammy Guevara just beat Darby Allin. Why are they teaming up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and Andrade, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy. Did they just put names in a fucking hat?
Yeah, again, it was just. I was like, what are we doing here, dude?
So this is the pre-show. This is gonna be on the
right,
whatever it's
buy-in.
But it's not gonna be on the buy-in because it's fucking Sting, and Sting doesn't go on the buy-in.
You don't go on the buy-in, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what's gonna go on here. I had to point that out. It's just it really doesn't fit. One of these things is not like the other. It's whatever phrase you want to use, then this goes with it. You know what I mean?
Again, yeah. People will be excited to see Sting and Darby and all that kind of stuff, but man, if there was a match that was just doesn't fit with everything else on the card, it's definitely that match. But regardless, I thought this Dynamite had great, some insanely great moments. Again, that MJF promo, the Battle Royale was really good. Like I said, the confrontation about Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho has got me intrigued, if not a little bit concerned for Jericho, at least how things go. And then the Danielson Garcia match was really fucking good as well. There was a couple other things that were for the most part. But other than that, it was a pretty solid Dynamite, I think.
Yes, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a home run of a Dynamite. It was like a Dynamite that didn't have a lot of heat coming in. The promos on it, Eddie and Jericho's segment. You look at MJF's amazing promo. The Tag Team Battle Royal. There was a lot of good matches on this show. It was a solid show. Didn't feel like anything slowed the show down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I definitely think there was a little bit of stuff Could have been done better, but for the most part, yeah, solid Dynamite. But we'll get into AEW Rampage Slam Dunk, which aired at the special time because of All-Star Weekend, because they had to see my boy Cade Cunningham win the Rising Stars MVP trophy. Let's fucking go. But the show opened up with Adam Cole Bebe going one-on-one with 10 of the Dark Order. This was pretty good, honestly. 10 did a damn good job in this match. Adam Cole, once again, did very good in this match as well. Eventually, though, Aubrey Edwards, she gets knocked... Adam Cole pushes himself into Aubrey Edwards and is able to get a low kick to 10 and then hit that boom knee eventually, get the win, still setting his sights on Hangman Adam Page, and that's when Red Dragon celebrated after the match. This was all right, I thought. Again, I think 10 is really good, honestly. And I just wish that like the Dark Order had a little bit more stuff going for them. They've kind of, like I said, they had so much stuff going for them, like in the feud with Kenny Omega and Hangman. But now with Hangman doing stuff with Adam Cole, it's like they've kind of faded into the background for the most part. Johnny Hungy's still outstanding, and like Dark Order is still enjoyed. But other than Johnny Hungy, I don't think they're as over as they were in the original feud. Again, you've got Being the Elite where they still shine outstandingly, but regardless of that, it just feels like they've taken a bit of a step back where it's like not as bad as when they were fighting amongst each other, because again, that was used to buy time until we eventually did get the match between Hangman and Kenny. But it's a bit of a step backwards still, because they're not tied in well with Hangman to the point of like it's just kind of tacked on for the most part.
Completely agree. I can't add anything to that. I completely agree.
We then had Yep, and like I said, we then had the Face of the Revolution qualifying match between Dante Martin and Powerhouse Hobbs of Team Taz. This match was really good. Honestly, these two guys do really good work against each other. Dante Martin is still outstanding. Shame that he's not in the match, but Powerhouse Hobbs being there, like again, big meaty man slapping meat, was so fucking good. Eventually, though, as Hobbs... Dante was off his feet. He got knocked off. He knocked off Hobbs with a drop kick from the top rope, but eventually Hobbs just spine busted the hell out of Dante Martin, and Hobbs got the win. And again, I'm excited to see what these big men do in this ladder match. Because again, it's like, do we not realize what type of match this is? Dante Martin, like, you didn't want to put this man in the ladder match. You wanted to put Powerhouse Hobbs. Okay, I'm expecting ladders to be broken at this point. I'm excited, dude. Like again, Powerhouse Hobbs gets a huge moment with this, and Dante's great. Again, he'll work his way back up there as well. But I thought these two guys, they work really well together. Honestly, they just do,
dude. So I love this. If you look at the lineup, of course, Keith Lee's new with the company. Can't really talk about what he's done in the past. But you have Wardlow, who is basically a sidekick. He's actually going to get his chance to shine in a pay-per-view. You got now Keith Hobbs, who's normally a sidekick. He's going to get his chance to shine on a pay-per-view. So they are literally face of the revolution, the idea of the face of the revolution being like a new star. It's a bunch of kind of new people in here. You know, Ricky Starks has been pretty established, but I'm just saying, you look at the people that are in it, it looks like they are giving the young guys an opportunity.
Yeah, no, again, I'm really excited with these opportunities that guys that we weren't necessarily expecting to get really get a chance to shine. I think that ladder match is going to prove to be outstanding. And then moving off of this match, though, we got the 5-minute rookie challenge for my girl Serena Deeb facing off against Angelica Risk. Serena Deeb, though, just literally didn't even have to look at the clock. Just completely was toying with her, and eventually was able to powerbomb Angelica and then wrench back with the Serenity Lock, getting the win, continuing to just shine as one of the best heels in the women's division. Again, the rookie challenge, it is what it is in terms of like a match. You're not getting anything outstanding with it, but in terms of like really showing Serena Deeb of how full of herself she is, of how great of a wrestler she is, it works really well. I just want to know what the hell this girl's going to be doing possibly at Revolution, because hell, dude, you want somebody that can put on a really good match that has heat to it, you get Serena Deeb in it. That's just what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with that statement. She hits all the time. She is Really good. She is one of those people you can always put in there, and she's always going to step up.
Yeah, and main event of Rampage, we had Trent Beretta against the Switchblade, Jay White. Speaking of Bullet Club people, I believe Tama Tonga kind of got dicked over by those boys. So, hey, Tama, I believe you know where these guys are. Not like you're knocking on that forbidden door a little bit. Kick that sumbitch open and come over here and get some firing squad shit and kick the shit out of these people. If Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa show up, I will fucking lose my mind. I love those two so much. So please let that happen. We already know what happened at fucking Ring of Honor with that whole shit. I mean, not Ring of Honor, Impact. So again, let these guys get over here and start kicking the shit out of them. Please. But getting into the actual match. JY and Trent did some damn good stuff. Eventually, there was a great suplex that took place. JY took Trent over the top rope and out of the ring with a superplex, and it just landed on the floor. It hurt like a motherfucker. There was a Tanahashi mocking by Jay White where he just decided to play the air guitar, which was insane. I was like, okay, so we're referencing Tanahashi now. Okay, fine. Why not? These guys really did some great work in this match. They were trading elbow strikes. Trent got a nice drop kick on Jay that knocked him out of the ring. And there was a suplex onto a chair done by Jay White, getting really vicious in there. Especially again, like the New Japan references in there was great. Building up how Jay White was a Grand Slam winner in New Japan. Eventually, though, Jay White was able to counter a strong zero, hit the Blade Runner, and get the win. And yeah, it was a damn good match. And then you saw Jay White getting stared at by Orange Cassidy. Oh my God, Orange Cassidy versus Jay White. I'm sorry, what? If you even try to tease that, I'm not prepared for that possible tease.
Put it on the pay-per-view.
Just put it on the pay-per-view.
Do it. Don't be a coward. Do it.
Yeah, but hell of an ending of a Rampage, though. I loved this match. I thought this was really good. And just the thought of Jay White and Orange Cassidy just makes my mind run wild with excitement. Yes,
it's going to be a great time. Orange right now is not on the show, so we'll see where that goes from now.
Yeah, but forward. I'm looking crazy forward to see what they decide to do with him. But that was AEW Rampage from the previous week. We're going to talk about our preview for the upcoming Rampage that will be airing tonight. We have Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa having their contract signing for the women's title match at Revolution. Orange Cassidy is going to be facing off against Anthony Bowens in a Face of the Revolution qualifying match. Serena Deeb is once again going to have another 5-minute rookie challenge. And then we're going to get Sammy Guevara versus Andrade El Idolo. Now, I am that Sammy Guevara Andrade match I'm crazy excited for. I just want Andrade to be I want Andrade to be so much more than he is right now, honestly. I want him to really shine in this match. Like, give them a significant amount of time. Like, this would be your main event match for Rampage. Let them shine. Like, give them plenty of time. Because, again, you don't have a ton of matches on here that are going to go crazy long. So give them as much time as they need. Because I think they can do really good.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
And then the only thing announced for Dynamite for the next week, 1st of March 2nd, is the second part of the Casino Tag Team Battle Royale, where it's been very proven that Young Bucks are like, we got a second chance at it, we're gonna win it, and then we're gonna kick the shit out of Red Dragon and get their revenge. And Adam Cole is not okay with his two teams just falling apart, and they need to be on the same page. And don't think that's gonna be the case, Adam. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't think that's gonna be the case, unfortunately.
But that is everything from AEW that we are talking about this week. But we do have some quick headlines and news to be talking about. So I will toss it over to Floyd to run down all these headlines that we have related to AEW.
So AEW FanFest meet and greets are on sale at AEWLiveMerch.com. This is only if you currently have a ticket to AEW FanFest. They are sold out, or so you'll either have to buy them on the secondary market if you do not currently have a ticket. So if you currently have a ticket, go to AEWLiveMerch.com. You have tickets on sale. I was just going to go just for people that listen to the show might be there, just going over some quick things. There's some different type of meet and greets. Chris Jericho VIP experience, only 50 people. It's $200. You already have to have a GA ticket. You get a special gift available to FanFest attendees first. Private meet and greet with the champion. No personal items sold on that one. We got a TBS champion Jade Cargill Photo Op. You'll be on the stage with Jade and the belt, and it's $50. It's not autographed. It's just a picture. They have the AEW World Title Photo Op. It's a picture with the belt, and and the AEW referee. So Aubrey Edwards, people that you don't see, no autographs, no personals, just a photo. Jazzware signings. They're going to be doing figure signings for it. The figure signings, I believe, like FTR is one. Nyla Rose is one. It's just people with figures. It's just for the figures, no personal items. If you want a personal item, it costs extra $20. But yeah, the free meet and greets is the one that I like to take. These are going to be the general admission lines. In those general admission groups, I just sent the picture. I'm just pulling up the picture real quick. In the first session, which is 12:30 to 15, it's going to be AQA, Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, the Factories, Camarado Solo and Anthony Ogogo, who I'm very excited to meet, Fuego del Sol, and Top Flight. In the second half of the meet and greet, it's everybody loves the Acclaim, Abaddon, Sky Blue, Layla Hirsch, and the Dark Order's 5, 10, and for the first time in a meet and greet, -1 is going to be doing the meet and greet. So I imagine his line is going to be freaking crazy because it's -1. But yeah, I just wanted to get everybody heads up on that. Double Nothing, T-Mobile Arena. Tickets on sale March 4th officially. But everybody knows, be looking out for the pre-sale on March 3rd. If they do a wide pre-sale code, I will send it out. I will not send out any if you're in the hills or anything like that. If they do a pre-sale code for them, I won't send that one out. I'll just send the one that comes out on the AEW Elite, the Fleet group, because that's pretty much a wide one. Brian Cage had his option picked up with AEW. Looks like he's going to be with them for at least another year. And Claudio I don't know how to say
Castagnoli.
Castagnoli, a.k.a. Savaro of WWE, is a free agent. I'm excited for him. If that's what makes him happy. But at this point in time, I believe if he wants to be a TNT, open challenge guy, he wants to have maybe a little 6 or 8 with you. I don't think he would be a good permanent member of the roster. And you'd be like, Cesaro's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Why? Well, I feel like they're featuring enough 40-year-olds right now. And I hate to say it like that, but we're talking brass tacks. I will be, if Kings of Wrestling, which is him and Chris Hero, give me a match with FTR, I will be there wherever it is. This is not about my desire to see him wrestle. It's about what is established in the company right now and who they're building for the future. I really don't think there's an established spot for him. And I don't want him to be in the same position he was in the WWE. I think he deserves better. I think you put him in Impact, he's immediately in the title picture. You put him on NJPW Strong, he's meaty in the title picture. Shit, I'd love to see him in the G1. It's not a desire to see him wrestle. It's how he fits with AEW. Do you have any thoughts on Cesaro, sir?
Yeah, Claudio Castagnoli, I love this dude. Again, we're not going to lean on the whole he was wasted again, because he was. Absolutely. They got cold feet again with another push for this man. I mean, again, if you did not see how good this dude is, I can't imagine why you wouldn't try to run with him. But regardless, yes, the age thing is a definite thing to keep an eye out, at least for that. And again, the roster is what it is. They just brought in Buddy Matthews too for this whole thing. He can, anywhere he goes, anywhere he goes, the company will be better off for it because he is so good, and you should absolutely, if you have the opportunity to get him on your roster, you should take him. In terms of AEW, because again, it's always the joke of like, oh, someone left WWE or somebody became a free agent in wrestling, they're gonna go to AEW. I think he could do amazing things. I just don't think there's anything of like open right now that he could go for that wouldn't be like either the same or not as good as what he was doing or at the peak of what he did in WWE. Because wherever he goes, he should be like one of the top guys is absolutely what should be the case with him because he still can go. He's still outstanding and he can be the top guy wherever he goes. I just don't think if he went to AEW, he'd be in that top guy position. He could be there for a short period of time and do really, really well. I just don't think long term, like he could be a pillar like level of AEW. Not dissing his talent. I just don't think that they have like a spot that could be open that he could be filling in for. I could be wrong. I think if he shows up, I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic because I think he could do outstanding stuff. But to be fair, again, he left on his own accord. He didn't re-sign. It wasn't a situation where he got dropped. So I'm excited to see what he does. I really am.
Yeah, it, like I said, nothing that I have to do has anything with my desire to see him wrestle. It's just literally, I mean, so many people coming in. You got to find spots for Keith Lee. You got to find spots for Buddy Matthews. Oh, the new announcement that I almost forgot about. You got to find spot for Shane Strickland.
Yeah, that was the thing too.
That got announced by AEW. There's only 3 hours of national TV. 3 hours of national TV, about, 5-6 hours of TV, including the YouTube. You got to find some way to feature everybody. You have an On Art tournament coming up. You have all of these things that you got to find some way to, book all these people. So, it's just, I don't see a spot for them. I might be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I very well might be wrong, but I just wanted to, just kind of threw it out there in my thought process on it.
Yeah, but again, if they wanted him to be a matchup there for like somebody to really go after in that tournament, like they could be really interesting. But again, whatever he decides to do, I will be watching because Cesaro is unreal levels of good. He's so good. But that is going to do it, though, for this episode of All Things Elite. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show every single week. Make sure you guys continue to download this fine show on Google or Apple Podcasts. And if you listen to us on Spotify or any other podcasting platform, give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. You can leave a rating and a review, and you can also leave a donation through Red Circle if you feel so inclined. We are at AT Elite Pod on Twitter. At Social Suplex are the guys that make this show possible. Check out all the other shows they have on their network. I am at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter, and I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to my friend Floyd so he can take us home for this episode of All Things Elite.
Hey, we are getting through the end of February. Hope everybody's enjoying the programming and enjoying us. I've never say this, but if you want to hit us up at AT Elite Pod and let us know anything that you can improve, anything we don't talk about that you may want us to talk about or anything like that, let us know. If you want to throw questions, I'd rather you send it to the Twitter because I don't really check the Gmail all that much. So just tag us and then let us know what you want to talk about. We love interacting with everyone. Ryan Evans is a frequent tagger of us, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate everyone that listens a second. But, as we get out this week, I'm just going to leave you with take care of people. It's you don't know, and not bringing it down, but you don't know how long you got with everybody. So tell them you love them. Tell them that you're there for them. Tell all the things that it seems weird when people tell other people. Tell them. It won't hurt. It might be uncomfortable for a second, but they'll get used to it. I tell my male friends that I love them all the time, and it's the weirdest thing for them at first. And then if I don't say it when I get off the phone, they're like, what the hell is that? So believe me, they get used to it. But yeah, I as I've gotten just a tad bit older in life, I've just been like I remember all the stuff I wouldn't say when I was young because, I was like nervous or embarrassed or whatever. And screw it. You got one of these, live and love hard. So with that, I leave you with the way I always leave you. Whether it's home, work, or school, always do your best to be elite.